Friday at PizzaFLIX. Cold War meets Film Noir in this 1954 Princess Pictures release, starring Jeffrey Lynn and Linda Caroll. An American bandleader on a European tour finds himself caught in a crescendo of suspicion and deceit when he falls hard for an exotic but mysterious blonde in post-war Germany.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in our fair city of Munich, we present America's greatest master of jazz for one night only on his triumphant European tour, the one and only Paul Stapleton and his...
Forgive me, but may I ask one little question? I watched you after every number, and you didn't applaud once. Couldn't you? Just once?
Of course.
Thank you. You're very nice.
I think so, too.
Well, what's it today, boss? Churches or museums? Pile in. Here's your big chance to see the world. Take advantage of it.
Well, at least drive slow, boss, at your usual rate of speed. Every dame looks the same, and I want to do a little window shopping.
Who let you loose in the streets? Don't you realize it could have... Well...
That's for your driving. I must admit one thing, although it isn't very much. You're a better orchestra leader than a driver.
Let me tell you something. I'm the best driver I ever met in my entire career.
Do you know what you are? A woman driver.
I'd be foolish to deny it. Look what you've done to my car. Look at it.
You can't drive it like that. Look, if you really have to be somewhere, I can take you in my car.
Well, I do have an appointment at 12, but I can take a taxi. I don't want to bother you.
I'm not going anywhere in particular. Let's go. We can call the garage on the way.
Oh, well...
Come on.
All right, boys, make room for a VIP. Oh, but Paul, you were supposed to show us the Frauenkirche, remember? You know, I was so excited about it, I couldn't sleep all night.
Out.
But there's enough room for all of us, Paul, with a little goodwill. After all, we are on a goodwill tour, you know.
And the lady could sit on my lap. We'd manage.
Stay with that car until someone picks it up. I'll see you at the hotel.
Is that the way you treat your musicians, Mr. Stapleton?
Sure. Union rules say whip them twice a day and keep them away from beautiful women.
Thank you. Now, have you finished with my hand, Mr. Stapleton?
I haven't. Not yet. Not until I know when I get it back. Will tonight be all right after the show?
So?
Oh, what am I saying? We're catching a plane at midnight.
And I'm catching a train.
Yeah? Where are you going?
If you must know, to Hamburg. I've got my uncle there and... Why, what's the matter?
Fate, that's what it is. Fate. Hamburg, that's our next stop. And our next date.
I don't believe in fate, Mr. Stapleton.
Huh? Hey, if we're in the same place, how can you avoid me?
Hamburg is a pretty big city. I'll manage.
You want to manage?
Mm-hmm.
You mean you don't want to see me again? Am I that obnoxious?
Pretty obnoxious. No, of course not. But I only go out with men I know very well. And I'm afraid I won't ever know you very well.
That's easy. You can read me like a book. And if there's something you don't understand, just ask me. Now, when we meet in Hamburg...
How long will you stay in Hamburg?
One day.
See?
Guess you're right. Too little time.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Stapleton. Goodbye.
Just one more thing.
Gladly.
Just this. Why didn't you applaud last night?
But, Mr. Stapleton, I never applaud when I like something very much.
Well, ain't we sharp?
Don't tell me I know it.
Blonde, red, or green?
Does it always have to be a girl?
Yes.
Well, tonight I'm keeping select company. I'm invited to a party at the home of Baron Wisbach.
Auf Wiedersehen, Baron von Stapleton.
Mr. Stapleton, great honor to have you as my guest. I don't understand much about music, but it is not the musician in you to whom I express my appreciation. It is to the ambassador of goodwill, to the man who reaches into the heart of young people and does more for peace and understanding.
You embarrass me, Baron. All I do is make music the way I learned it back home. But it's a great feeling to know that they love it here, too.
I must not monopolize you. Greta? Greta, this is Mr. Paul Stapleton, the famous American band leader. My niece, Miss Norman.
Miss Norman and I have already met.
You have? How nice and how surprising.
Yes, Uncle Frederick. Mr. Stapleton and I bumped into each other in Munich.
Although Hamburg is a pretty big city, it's a small world.
Excuse me.
Come, Mr. Stapleton. There are lots of people dying to meet you.
Do you believe in fate now?
A little.
Where can we talk?
But all the people here will want to meet you.
This is the third time you and I have met purely by chance. I can't gamble on the mere possibility of there being a fourth.
Over there. Yes, it's me.
Just wanted to make sure you were real.
And are you sure now?
Not quite.
Yes, thank you.
You live here?
Sometimes. When I come to Hamburg.
In 15 minutes, no, 10, you're going to develop a headache.
And what?
Just a convenient little headache that forces you to retire. Then a little while later, I'll remember I have an early rehearsal. Then your headache and my rehearsal will meet outside the house.
But I...
Can't resist fate, remember? Can't you feel that headache coming on? Just a little.
Yes, but whether it's fate or your company.
You'll find out. I've talked and haven't said the right things yet.
Go on. I like to listen. Tell me everything.
My age, height, and social security number?
No. Tell me about the time you were just a little boy.
Well, I was a terrible brat, but I had a wonderful time. I was kind of sorry to grow up.
I would say you never did.
No? I don't know. Just want to see your face, that's all.
Just another face.
Not to me.
Oh,
What? Oh, you want to see my face now?
no. I want to see your watch. It's 2:00.
Why so upset? Happens twice every day.
I sneaked out 2 hours ago for only half an hour. I must get home, really.
10 more minutes?
No, it's far too late.
All right. You know, it's funny. I hardly know you, and yet you're very important to me.
No, not really.
Yes, you are.
Good night, Paul. And good luck.
5 more minutes? You know, I saw a funny little street running off down that way. A street that would love to see you.
No, Paul, please.
I'd like to kiss you goodnight.
No, Paul.
I'd like to very much.
I'd like to talk to you for years. I'd like to kiss you for years. But tomorrow night I'm in Amsterdam, and the night after that in Brussels. Well, good night, Greta.
Let's have those 5 more minutes. Where's that street that wants to see me?
If I were a painter, and someone asked me, what will the girl you fall in love with look like? I'd have painted you.
Even without knowing me?
Yeah? I knew you long before I met you.
It makes no sense. What do you want? Make me fall in love with you?
It's not a question of wanting or not, Greta.
You're cruel, Paul. I don't want to fall in love with you.
All right, Greta. I guess I'm being selfish.
Please take me home.
Good night.
Goodbye. Please tell me some bad things about yourself. Very bad things. So it'll be easier for me to...
Easier?
Tell me that everything you've said was just a routine. A big lie.
There are, of course, variations, you understand. Some girls like the romantic approach. And some girls
I'll make it easy for you. I'm all bad. I give you my word of honor. Nothing better could happen than for you to leave and never see me again.
What is it, boss?
What's the matter, Paul?
He must be loaded.
Are you all right?
All right, I feel wonderful.
Well, what's happened?
A landslide, that's what's happened. A shooting star hit me. If you put a Geiger counter near me, it would explode.
Do you think we should send for an ambulance?
No, it's just his little way of...
Look, fellas. We're staying in Hamburg.
Oh, now I know you're nuts.
Man, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. In 14 hours, we've got to be on stage in Amsterdam.
Well, we won't be.
But the house is sold out. We just can't break the contract.
No, don't talk to him that way, Chippy. It's the wrong approach. All right, we break the contract. What's a lawsuit of a few $1,000 for breach of contract? But tell me, will you, just what's so wonderful about Hamburg?
Everything. Especially Greta.
Who?
Greta. The girl in the car, remember? The girl who wouldn't applaud.
Oh, but now I suppose she's cheering her head off.
Well, at least it isn't a museum or a monument. Only a girl. A girl we can move. Why not have her come along for the ride?
She's not that kind of a girl.
Well, what kind of a girl is she?
The kind every love song is about, every poem, every...
I'll get a doctor.
Oh, man, I'll get a compress.
Look, fellas, you know how it is if I want something.
Yes, but Paul, this isn't a piece of china or a necktie.
No, it's love. Chippy, see if you can get Amsterdam on the phone. Bix, you better tell the boys.
No, you call Amsterdam and you tell the boys. The house is sold out, but it's not just that. This is supposed to be a goodwill tour, remember? Go ahead, Paul. Call Amsterdam. Cancel the show. Tell them you ran into a girl.
.604, please. Bix, this is Paul. Will you do me a favor? Find out if there are any American ships in port. Yeah, ships. Boats. Liners, tramp steamers, tankers, anything. Right away, will you?
Of course it's closed. It's 5 o'clock in the morning.
Hotel flower shop should stay open night and day in case of emergencies.
I don't have a key.
But you do have the address of a glass company.
There's no doubt in my mind, sir, that you will select red roses.
Darling, I forgot something. Something very important.
Paul, what are you doing here?
Greta, will you marry me?
What did you say? I can't hear you.
I said I love you. Will you marry me?
Yes, Paul. Yes. Yes, I will. Yes.
But this is the only way we can get married right away.
I'd like to help you out, Mr. Stapleton, but
Captain, we've got to play Amsterdam tonight.
don't especially go for your kind of music. Like square dances myself. Yeah, but my two daughters swear by you. Well, you can't get married while we're in port. We'll have to get outside of territorial waters first.
I don't care if we have to sail all the way to Iceland.
Iceland? Bit cold there for a honeymoon, eh?
All right. I'll take her out. Thank you, Captain.
Do you, Paul, take this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife?
I do.
And do you, Greta, take this man to be your lawfully wedded husband? Do you take this man to be your...
No. No. No.
Greta,
I'm sorry.
what's wrong, darling?
I don't know. I don't know. Yesterday you were a stranger to me. And now I'm marrying you.
Takes only a little time to be born, and only a second to die. How much time does one need to fall in love?
I don't know. I don't know.
Darling, there's one thing you must decide for yourself. It's whether you love me or not. My grandmother used to say that love was like a basket with two handles. It needs two people to carry it. Once they picked it up, they never drop it, because their whole happiness is in it.
I do love you, Paul.
Shall I call the captain?
Yes. Mm. That's much better than an alarm clock.
Not so reliable. It's 11 o'clock. You said something about wanting to go shopping.
Just one moment. And just one more kiss.
We never get to unpack, Mrs. Stapleton. That's what happens when you marry a band leader.
What?
Hmm?
Be a nice boy and...
Go away?
No. Hand me my slippers. Look in my green suitcase.
At your service, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know I'd married such a wealthy woman.
I said the green one, didn't I?
There's nothing wrong with having money, darling. If you'd told me, I'd have proposed much sooner.
I carry it in case of an emergency. If you treat me badly, for example, I can always buy a ticket to Australia. Or hire some sinister character to beat you up.
Better hire two. You made a new man out of me.
Better or worse?
Well, hello, Mrs. Stapleton.
Good evening, Chippy. Hello?
How'd you like the two doves?
Two doves.
Yeah, that pub on the river. I saw you there last night.
You must be mistaken, Chippy.
Oh, well, don't tell me there are two Gretas in the world. That's impossible. I'll tell you, if I see the other one, I'll marry her immediately.
Well, then there must be two Gretas. I've never been to that place in my life.
But I saw you there.
Sorry, I'll have to hurry up now. See you after the show. Goodbye. Goodbye.
That's the idea. You better see an eye specialist, Bud.
Or maybe a psychiatrist.
I've heard of people seeing pink elephants, but when you start seeing people who aren't there...
Oh, shut up. Look, I tell you, I saw. And I wasn't drunk. I guess that about does it.
Hey, we've got to get going.
Wow, Vienna. Last time I was there, I met a real sharp chick at the tambourine.
I wish you a happy reunion.
Hello, darling.
Hi, honey.
You were gone a long time. Finish your shopping?
Oh, just bought some perfume. The buying doesn't take much time, only the deciding.
You better hurry now. The plane leaves in an hour.
Oh, yes.
I'll pay the hotel bill.
There are 3 Gretas now. This time I saw another one go into a strange neighborhood. Via Fiore was the name of the street, number 17. And one of my fiancés lives at number 16. Now, isn't that a strange coincidence, Greta? I mean, this time it was you, definitely you.
Chippy, this time it was me. I was looking for an old miniature painter there, who's supposed to be very good.
Mm-hmm. Is he?
Yes. And he knows it, too. Wickedly expensive. So I didn't buy anything.
That's right, Greta. They can be very expensive. Say, did you see a girl go in here about an hour ago? Redhead? Pretty?
I think I did.
What's the name of the miniature painter that lives in this place?
Painter? There's no painter in this house.
No painter, huh?
Here.
You sure?
Absolutely.
Hey, Chippy, we'll miss the plane.
Oh, just a moment. Come in now, please.
My dear, let me present Mr. Paul Stapleton.
How do you do?
I've heard so many of your records, Mrs. Stapleton. I never thought we would meet.
And I've heard your recordings, Miss Henning. You have a lovely voice.
Oh, a mutual admiration society, eh? That makes it much easier.
Easier?
You see, our wonderful idea. Here in Vienna, we really have an international city. 4 zones, 5 nations, if you count us Austrians too. So I thought, wouldn't it be wonderful if tomorrow night, Lena Henning, the great singing star, would sing 1 number or 2 with the great show band of Paul Stapleton?
Why not? We'd be delighted.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, wonderful. So that's settled.
Not quite, because I have to get a special permission.
I'm sure there will be no difficulty. I've telephoned and left a request. You two pick the songs and do the rest. Now, if you will excuse me, before an opening night, always so much to do.
Certainly.
Won't you sit down, please?
Thank you.
These are the songs I have done now.
Yeah.
Would you like to look through them?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you prefer something else?
Well, let's see. How about this one? We have an arrangement on it?
Yes.
Fine. From whom, may I ask, do you have to get special permission to sing with that?
From General Kolenkov.
A general?
With the government.
I don't get it. We don't have to ask Eisenhower if we can play for you.
General Kolenkov is my fiancé.
Oh. Well, I never met the man, but I'll say one thing for him. He has excellent taste.
Thank you very much. Come in.
Miss Henning, I'm happy to inform you that General Kalinko has given you the permission to sing with Americans.
May I introduce you to Colonel Sidrov, General Kolenkov's aide-de-camp, Mr. Stapleton, the American orchestra leader.
How do you do? I'm glad things worked out so that we can do the show tomorrow night with Miss Henning. Are you familiar with our type of music?
We have such clubs in Moscow. Sometimes we close them, sometimes we open them again, but we have them.
I'm glad to hear that. Now, if you'll excuse us, we have to pick out some more songs for tomorrow night.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, a rare treat indeed. The double delight of Paul Stapleton's music and Lena Henning's voice.
Moments like this make me thrill through and through. Careless moments like this, close to you. Nonchalantly we dine and we dance. Yet my heart seems to melt in your glance. Sweet moments like this, with the soft lights aglow, make me long for your kiss, though I know I'd be just one of all like this, who cares? Like this, with the soft lights aglow, make me long for your kiss, though I know I'd be just one of all your affairs. But at moments like this, who cares?
Shut up, you two. I don't want to hear any more.
Paul, you can be as sore as you like. You can punch me in the nose if it'll do you any good, but...
But you've got to listen. I won't listen, and that's the end of it. We're crazy about each other. What do you want me to believe? That she cheats on me?
Look, Paul, we don't want to believe anything bad about Greta any more than you do. But answer one question, will you? Where is she now? It's past midnight.
It's none of your business. But just to set your minds at ease, she's with her aunt in Baden. Are you sure? Of course I'm sure.
Then why don't you call her and ask her if you can drive out and pick her up?
I trust my wife. If I didn't, I wouldn't be married to her.
Well, that's fine for you, Paul. But call her for my sake, not for yours. I have no confidence in Greta, and I'm your friend. So put my mind at ease.
Look, I know you guys mean well. But you're wrong as can be about Greta. Will you get me the number of Baroness Kirsch in Baden, please?
One moment, please.
Never mind.
Good evening, Mr. Stapleton.
I bring you greetings from my aunt.
Good evening, Mrs. Stapleton.
What's the matter? Don't you love me anymore? Too lazy to get up and kiss me? Just lie there and say, good evening, Mrs. Stapleton.
Come here, Mrs. Stapleton.
Love me. I wouldn't know what to do if you didn't.
What do you mean? I've been buying plane tickets for years, and I always pay by check. You should be sorry. Government regulations. I don't have that much cash at the moment. Wait a minute. Okay, stop by. I'll have the cash for you. It's very convenient to have a wife with a lot of money, darling.
I'd like to borrow that roll of yours for a few days.
Well, I'd like to give it to you, Paul. But I don't have it anymore. If I'd only known
What did you do with it?
I bought a fur coat.
What do you mean you bought a fur coat?
Yesterday at the Plaza Furriers. A mink. It It was a tremendous bargain.
When you get a mink coat, darling, I'd like to do the buying. If you wanted one, why didn't you tell me?
Well, it isn't for me. It isn't my money, you silly thing. My uncle in Hamburg, you remember him?
Yeah.
He gave me the money and asked me to buy a fur coat for his wife. She's sick. It's supposed to be a surprise for her.
Well, of course, that's different.
Well, I must be off now. I have an appointment with the hairdresser.
When will you be back?
In 2 or 3 hours. The hairdresser alone should take an hour. Well, goodbye.
Just a minute. Haven't you forgotten something?
What?
Feel it. I'm calling for Mrs. Paul Stapleton about a mink coat she bought yesterday.
One moment, please. Hello? There must be some mistake. We have no record of such a purchase.
But she bought it yesterday. It's for Baroness Wisbach in Hamburg.
Sorry, sir. We have no record of the sale. We haven't sold a mink coat in the past 5 days.
Thank you. I'd like the number of the Baroness Kirsch in Baden, please.
Thank you. One moment, please. The number is 11502.
Thank you. Will you get it for me, please?
Hello?
May I speak to the Baroness Kirsch, please?
I'm sorry. The Baroness died 6 months ago. We rented the house. Hello? Hello?
Taxi, please. Thank you.
Well?
I'm sorry, Mr. Stapleton. I don't quite know what to say. Greta and I love each other.
You married me? Why? Why?
She married you on the rebound. It happens every day.
You're a liar!
I understand how you feel, Mr. Stapleton. Greta and I, we had a quarrel. We patched it up. We started to meet again right after your marriage in Paris, in Florence, in London, and now here in Vienna. You might as well know the facts. I'm rather glad you came here. I argued with Greta. I wanted her to tell you, but she refused. Now you know.
Greta, look at me. Look at me. Can you tell me to my face that what he says is true?
Yes, Paul. It is true. I was going to tell you anyway today. Paul.
What do you want?
There's something I have to tell you.
I won't believe a word of it. Don't bother.
I lied to you, Paul.
You don't have to tell me that.
I know. But I have to explain just one of the lies. König and I were never lovers. I'd die if he ever touched me. The life you and I had together began and ended with a lie. But between those lies were the most beautiful days in my life.
You sound almost convincing.
I didn't applaud at the club in Munich because I wanted you to notice me. I ran into your car purposely. I went to Hamburg because I knew you would be there. And I asked my uncle to invite you to his home. What seemed like fate to you was all deliberately planned.
Planned? Why?
I was ordered to make you fall in love with me. You were on tour in Europe, an American, a famous band leader. The police at the frontiers don't look for your luggage. It was figured that your wife's luggage wouldn't be examined either. As your wife, I could carry money to pay the party's agents in different countries.
Why are you telling me this now?
Because I love you. And because I know you love me. I couldn't go on knowing how much I've hurt you. I decided the truth would be more bearable for you.
It would? If I could believe you?
You will. They'll know I came here. They have ways of dealing with people who break their rules.
Greta, how did you get into this mess?
I was young and confused. My parents were killed during the war. The pattern of living was gone. They say they have the answer. They don't. But I was trapped before I found out. The night after the party, I knew I was falling in love with you. I tried to prevent it. Do you remember what I said? I make it easy for you. I'm all bad. Leave and never see me again.
You meant it.
Yes, Paul. I meant it.
Chippy, I'm going in there and talk to him.
It won't do any good. Let him sweat it out.
But, man, he's locked himself in that room 6 hours ago. Suppose
He'll be all right. But there must be something we can do.
Sure. Get the Marines and rescue the lady.
Shut that thing off. This is no time for it. Vic, didn't I ask you to shut the...
Be quiet, will you?
Voice of Eastern Europe. You have just been listening to Lena Henning's Half Hour of Song, broadcast every night from 10 to 10:30. Now for our regular news program.
Wasn't that,
Yeah, the girl that sang with us in Vienna.
the Russian general's girlfriend? She's quite a dish.
Yeah. Say, that general must be a big wheel over there.
I read about him. He's a large operator.
He was pretty gone on this canary, too.
Well, what are you driving at?
I don't know. Something's beginning to simmer. She's in the Eastern Zone. So's the general. So's Greta. I got it.
Well, come on, give.
It's simple. It's brilliant. It may even work. Say, Paul.
Moments like this make me thrill through and through. Careless moments
excuse, please. Difficulties with technical equipment. Don't go away.
Drink up. It'll do you good. Bollinger, 47.
This is an outrage, Mr. Stapleton.
Yes, I know.
Let me go at once.
Not until you've written that little letter.
Suppose I scream for help.
They'll think you're rehearsing a new song.
Poor Sasha, he will be furious.
Не на кого не положиться. Степандон, укал нею, это дурак ничего не знает. Давай на сюда, быстро! So, are you the bungling, half-witted idiot who lost his head? How dare you kidnap people without my permission?
But, Comrade...
Colonel, if you please, it's we alone, who decides who is to be kidnapped and who isn't.
Yes, Colonel.
Then what do you mean, acting without my orders? You know what has happened? Souls imperialists, warmongers, Pluto Democrats kidnap Lena Henning.
But that's impossible. They wouldn't dare. Not those law-abiding Americans.
Don't be a fool. Here is her letter. They won't let her go until we release this girl. What's her name? Greta Norman. Where is she?
We are sending her east. We haven't re-questioned her yet. We can't.
Can't we? And who are you, Koenig, to tell us what we can or can't do? The general will be present. You better be very careful. I want you to be with that Norman girl as a zone border at 3 o'clock sharp. We want this exchange to take place at an isolated border. The fewer people who see this, the better. I'll call this Stapleton and tell him myself. Come on the double.
But that's impossible. If you do that, my whole intelligence network in the West will be finished.
You mean you will be finished? I've seldom seen a man more expendable than you, Koenig. Get out before I explain to you myself. Give me Mr. Stapleton at the Carlton Hotel in the western section. Yes, you heard me right. West.
You know, Mr. Stapleton, I wouldn't mind staying on the western side, except for one thing.
What's that?
All your generals seem to be married.
Lena, are you all right?
Of course I'm all right. Except I will freeze to death if you keep me standing here.